I'll give you a cheers to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
I really appreciate it. Grayson, I've heard many great things about you.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to pick your brain about everything going on in the business.
Sure.
But I am curious. I guess I can kind of start where you're at now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in the media realm. TigerNet is the big thing, I assume. And then podcasting, you still doing that on like your own, or now doing it kind of through them? Or
Yeah, I mean, I had the podcast in college, but part of my pitch when I was originally pining for a job after school was there's this massive audience and there's an untapped resource there with the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started doing like a few podcast interviews, I guess.
Yeah.
And then eventually we came up with what it is now with the Orange Crush podcast. And what was really fascinating about it was it's really developed well over time. And so we're going in like year 3 with it. We've got like Jeff Scott's construction company lined up with us. Chick-fil-A's working with us. So it's been really exciting there. And then I do my work for the radio station at the Roar as well. So a lot of moving parts, but it all kind of comes together at the right time.
No, I mean, it's pretty sick. That's what I was looking through to see who you done. I saw the is it Gray the Man or the Man podcast?
Yeah,
the first one.
The Man with the Plan podcast. It feels so archaic now. Just it's been years since I've touched it. I'll go back every now and then. I'm like, people still watch this? Like it's been 2 years since I've made an episode on that.
Yeah, that's what it looked like your last one. I think it was like the Celtics in the final.
Yeah, it's like, that's a great way to end it, though, right?
Yeah. No, I saw you got I think it was Clemson's women's basketball coach on there. And I was like, wow, that's pretty dang cool.
It's weird now because he and I have such a great working relationship, and that was kind of the first introduction to him. And you just sat there and you're like, this could work out.
Yeah.
For Clemson, and so I have to thank my buddy Faxon for that. Who they were trying to get his publicity off the ground since he had just been hired. So I was like, I'll do a podcast with him. A few hundred people will watch, and that's the start of a relationship that maybe we'll work with down the road. And we were at practice a few weeks earlier, and just being able to casually chat with main head coach at Clemson is just still weird to me.
It's pretty cool. I mean, not a lot of people get that opportunity. That is just, I don't know. It's pretty cool that everything's kind of progressed. When you first went to go make get it started or get it going, was it just you kind of just seeing this like going on? Because a couple years ago you would have seen podcasting kind of become more of a main trend.
Yeah.
Things like that. So was that kind of the influence on it, or like what got it off the ground?
Oh man, that's a good question. It was 6 years ago since the podcast started in my parents' attic and during the COVID, but I don't know. I never. Back in high school, I don't really feel like. What year did you graduate? Like high school?
High school, 2020.
So around that, it didn't feel like in high school podcasts were as mainstream as they are now. Where it felt like pre-COVID, but a little bit beforehand, and now obviously everyone's got a show. Yeah. Just because it's so easy and accessible, but we had like this idea of, I think when I was little, I wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber. So like the concept of a microphone and the computer thing, like it's always been in my mind. But for sports, it was just an avenue during COVID because I wanted to get into the business, but I didn't really know how. And so we were in Clemson for 2 weeks, and we actually had to come back because of this big storm that hit. A tornado tore down a bunch of power lines, and so we come back, and my dad had this giant microphone headset on the kitchen table, and he's like, hey, we're probably not going back to school anytime soon, so this is me saying I believe in your enthusiasm and whatever vision you have. Essentially, he was telling me, figure it out, right? And I made one episode, and I had the microphone set upside down. The audio, it's still on YouTube if you want to go find it, or I can show you after this. Of just like, you can hear me breathing into the microphone and like flipping my script that I typed out word for word. And so if I had gotten something wrong, I'm like, Deshaun Watson did flip paper. Here we go. So it's 25 minutes of,
hearing the paper rustle across
It was very, very rookie of me, I guess is the right way to say it. I like to keep it up, though. It's a nice little reminder.
I think it is. I think it's entertaining, if nothing else, for everyone else to look back on and yourself. Like you especially see those like from the first video I've done to like now, and I'm not nearly comparing, but I have seen even in the short amount of time, it's like wow.
Yeah, you do.
What were you doing?
You do kind of notice the incremental improvements that you make, right? And it was such a foreign thing to me. I never knew how to edit a video, or
no.
I used GarageBand to record my audio on my MacBook, and didn't know how any of it worked, but I knew the green light going up and down meant something, so we just used that.
Yeah, I can't say I'm much above that. I'm like, those definitely all mean things, and I look at them and I'm like, what kind of makes this sound better?
Yeah,
and we'll wing it from there.
It's a lot of trial and error, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like, what's the cheapest, most effective way I can get this to where it's fairly good quality that I'm happy with.
Those cost effective, and talk about like a setup here. This is a setup that I've kind of dreamed about for down the road. Just a little. It feels very Rogan-esque to me.
I like it. I like having the backdrop. I think it's a good conversation to always have.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, they'll just have a guest be like, "Oh, what do you think about that book?" Or what did like the Funko Pops or whatever else. I like having little trinkets around it. It's fun.
Which ones have you like? I guess what would you start with on this?
The Funko Pops or the books?
I guess
all of
either or. Either or.
Let's see. Well, the books I read a lot growing up. That kind of stopped through high school and then kind of picked it back up. So every book up here, either I've read or my wife has read.
Okay.
And if you'll notice, we put it in color order from going from fiction to then series of fiction to comic books and then to nonfiction in color order.
That's the way to do it.
We're both OCD. So we figured that out. So yeah, all of them, I've read probably 65% of all the ones up there, I would say.
Even the Dr. Seuss ones right there?
I did nail the Dr. Seuss ones, and sadly those were more recent than I would like to admit. So reading level is not that high, so don't worry. Don't use a ton of big words. The Funko Pops I got in college mostly I started getting a couple of them to put like in the dorm room and like kind of decorate. I think the Post Malone one was my first one, I believe, because I saw that and I was like, that's sick.
Because I came in here and I was like, this is a setup right here. This is the kind of space that you envision on, like you'll watch ESPN and they'll bring in like the analyst and they've got the bookshelf behind them and you're just kind of, I'm more or less paying attention to that than what they're actually saying.
Yeah. I gotta say, the ESPN analyst, I might have beat on. I actually read the books that are behind me. I don't just have like the Kobe Bryant memoir classic, like
the Belichick book in the background. You're like Yard of Winning, or
I'm like, I don't know if you read that.
The Secrets to Success behind you, and you're like just sitting there kind of like this. Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know about that. My favorite is when Travis Kelce just admitted he's like, I don't read these. I just have them.
They're here. They're here for show.
It's like, that's pretty real. At least you admitted it. That's one for the team. But yeah, I'm pretty glad of it. Got a lot of little fun things. The more you look around and see things. Got things from our wedding. Yeah. I don't know. It's cool.
That's good stuff.
We don't have the technical, but we have a backdrop. So
the one or the other. The game, right?
That is part of it. Look like dress for success. And this is my dressing. That's what I do. I guess if you don't mind, we'll jump back in time from you. I'm curious to hear. So where did you start growing up? What kind of got you eventually to Clemson? Not the spoiler alert, but what's kind of the backstory on?
Yeah, so I was actually born in St. Louis, in Missouri, but I was really only there for a short time. I was meant to be born in Charleston, South Carolina, but both my brother and I were premature.
Okay.
And so they were in the middle of a move, and the house was packed up, but then the doctor says you can't travel because babies are coming any day now.
Right.
So I was in a hospital for a month, premature baby, all that stuff, and then second I'm able to travel, I'm down in Charleston, and that's where I lived pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
Mainly in Somerville, which is about like 25-ish minutes depending on traffic, and it's changed drastically now because, I mean, every time I go back, there's something new's being built, so
That place is exploding.
Yeah, the influx of people it's ridiculous. I mean, you could get around pretty easily when I was in middle and high school, and traffic is just kind of an expectation down there. It's like living in a bigger city.
Right. It is becoming very chaotic anytime you go down there.
A lot of upper state license plates.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what you see a lot now of even up here. You have a bunch of New Jersey and whatever else. Texas is a popular one as well.
Yeah. The running joke when I came to Clemson was if you didn't have a South Carolina license plate, it was, did you come here for football? And I think that's lost a little bit of its luster now.
Yeah.
But it used to be, I mean, the Trevor Lawrence was still going there, or they were going to national championships, so don't blame me if you want to see some good stuff in the fall.
Sorry, I want a winning team. Don't blame the guy.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I get it. It was quite a run there. You got to experience the real prime of it.
Yeah, it was from about 7th grade on to my freshman year of college. I mean, they probably lost 10 times in that span. So,
yeah.
But just to kind of answer your question is, we used to joke back in the day that if someone cut my arm open, it would bleed out orange. We were big Clemson fans.
Yeah.
My dad got his PhD there. My grandfather graduated there. My sister graduated in 2020. My brother and I graduated in 24. Yeah. So it's a lineage for sure.
Yeah.
And that was the place I wanted to go to. And our school didn't really appreciate the fact that I wanted to apply to just one school. So I was like, if I don't get into Clemson, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I might as well not go to college, right?
Yeah.
And so I applied to a couple local, I think I applied to Anderson and Newberry just to please them.
Yeah.
But knowing that if I got into Clemson, that was going to be the end-all be-all.
Sure.
And not really sure what I wanted to do when I got there, but I think I had said I wanted to leave with no regrets, and I think I did that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty incredible. Did your family grow up kind of going to the football games and all of the sporting events coming up here?
So we went to, there was a point when I was young where we went to about a home game a year just because of the travel. It's 3.5 hours away.
Right.
But we went to Tampa for that first national championship win. My mom and I went to San Francisco for the second one on a whim.
Yeah.
We found really cheap flights and tickets because I guess people were getting tired of seeing Clemson and Alabama in the national championship and having to travel out west.
Sure.
So we're like, hey, if there's tickets available that are within a price range, let's go do it.
Yeah.
And I think we got there the night before and left the morning after. I think the game ended since it was on the West Coast, it started at 5 o'clock, I want to say.
Probably. That sounds about right.
We get out probably because of the trophy presentation. We'll probably get back to our hotel around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Or up at 4 a.m. flying back home. So it was very quick.
Yeah.
Very, very quick. But that, and then got to go to New Orleans for the Joe Burrow game. And that was...
It's a tough one to be at.
Yeah. Very, very crazy fan base, LSU. So
yeah.
That'll be interesting this fall.
Very dedicated fans, I've heard.
They've got a certain chant that it's probably not Mathis show appropriate, but
probably not air. I would say we get demonetized, but we're not monetized, so
like this is sponsored. Don't look.
Yeah.
Don't listen.
Yeah. What do you think about that LSU team? You think that's one of the best teams to ever come through?
It's got to be, right?
I would have to imagine.
I would imagine it would be one of the old Miami teams from the early 2000s.
It's like the only competition I could think of. But
the 2018 Clemson team, I think, is deserving of being in that category.
Yeah.
I just remember all the conversation from that year about that Bama team being the best ever. And then Clemson came, and it's a fun story is my boss, David, was at covering that game, and he went on the field. I think I would get in trouble for sharing this. But he talked to a coach and said, what do you think about tonight? And he said, David, if we don't win by 14 or more, I'll be disappointed. So they felt pretty confident going into that one.
Yeah.
And have you seen the Stephen A. Smith meme where he's doing his top 5 college football teams, and he's like, number 5, Alabama. Number 4, Alabama. So I think by nature of the hype that team delivered, and then they get pounced by Clemson. That team had so much NFL talent too.
Yeah.
I think LSU's probably at the top for me.
Yeah. LSU's hard to beat because of just that offense was just unimaginable talent across the whole field. But Clemson's team, yeah, that 28 team had a lot of stars as well.
It's tough when Justin Jefferson's like your third best option.
Yeah, that
on
does
offense. That makes it that's weird for my brain to process.
makes it pretty hard. That's like the Kentucky basketball team where like Devin Booker was coming off the bench, and it's like
Right.
You
You'll
know-
see those old basketball, like the Dukes and the Kentuckys, and like Jason Tatum's a number one option. Or
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is not the best player on his team. What's going on here?
I don't know who you. I think LSU and Clemson. I think Miami would be. Those would probably be the top three of who you debate on. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you go further back than 2000s, I think it's probably a little.
Yeah, that's where
Tricky.
my brain kind of tunes it out. It's
I'm
just,
like,
it's tough.
yeah.
There's an 80s team probably in there. There's a 90s team.
I'm sure you can have some old head that's like the 78 team was
Yeah.
the best team ever assembled.
It's like, man, the academic team of 1946, man, we just had it different.
They just don't know ball anymore.
It's like the St. Louis Academy of Math and Science. They really had some special talent in 1933.
Just don't see it like that anymore. Yeah. I can imagine. There's always someone out there that has a team from the past.
Mm-hmm.
So you got into Clemson. What was your major and kind of what were you thinking when you got in?
So I had to. The sports comm was the sort of the major, but I had to go undeclared in. I was actually a bridge student 2020.
Hey, nothing
So I
wrong
had
with
to-
that.
It was great. Great year, actually.
Did you
Very
enjoy
nice.
the bridge? I
I
think
did.
the bridge is a pretty great program.
It's really good. It was a nice, soft entry into school. And I'll say it, I wasn't the best student, where I did enough to get
That's
to
fine.
get where I needed to get, and
Everyone got the same piece of paper.
right,
At the end of the
yeah.
day.
There's no asterisk on my diploma.
No.
There's no asterisk on my ring or anything like that. So
Maybe in the very fine print
Yeah.
down there, just.
Grayson Mann, very tiny bridge student.
Yeah.
They'll like mark you or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, during COVID too, you had your own building that you were confined to,
Mhm.
and we could talk about COVID Clemson for 3 hours. There's so much from just that year that was so unique.
Yeah.
But fun year. Classes weren't too difficult. I mean, you had to drive a few minutes down the road to get to Tri-County, but
Right.
other than that, I had no complaints. I had a great time.
Yeah, I think you were in Lightsey. Yeah, Lightsey was also a nice place to be. I think the apartments are pretty fun. I ended up there mostly every weekend because my now wife was there. And so I would come up and visit her for, I guess, half the year until they got kicked out for COVID.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But that's where I got to meet like Armani and like Matt
Mhm.
and Paul and some other people that live like in the same buildings.
Yeah, that's just for you when you got kicked out of the school like halfway through, right?
Yeah, they got sent home after spring break.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah, that I can't imagine having to basically pack everything up with so much uncertainty. At least we had a little bit of warning.
yeah. No, they got the like, hey, go to spring break, and then it was like, oh, B-dubs, you're not coming back.
By the way, your stuff's here. Can't come get it.
Yeah, they're like, don't enter. So just leave it here. Hope you brought your textbooks home. Good luck.
Okay,
Oh yeah, no problem.
sure. It's
Yeah.
like, my textbook's actually in my room if you want me to go back and get it, but
I plan to do light reading on my time off because that was the first thing I thought of, But, yeah, very interesting year for the academics and everything else.
oh my goodness, yeah, it was very strange too when you have, I think the first day I was there, someone got like $100 fine for not wearing their mask over their nose.
Mm.
They had it down like this, and it's
Yeah.
Clemson, South Carolina in September. It's hot,
Yeah,
and so having a paper like those old blue masks,
they sweated through masks.
Oh, yeah.
That's just damp.
and they're just wringing them out when they
Yeah.
get to the dining hall. So you're just like, oh, I don't really want to wear that on the way back.
Yeah, after I just ate and now I'm going to walk outside and immediately sweat. Into
Yeah.
this. It's like, oh, I'm like vomiting into this.
Or you're going to class, you got a book bag on, you're walking probably a mile and up and down a hill,
Yeah,
and you're breathing into this. And they had some of those like more dry fit masks, like they innovated
yeah.
when we got there. So that's what I would rock, was this dry fit black mask, and it would work pretty well.
That's nice. No, I just remember being stuck with like either a cloth mask and it just
They itch too.
yeah, I was just not comfortable.
Wow.
It was terrible. And then you had Zoom classes for the first time, and that was interesting.
Did you fall asleep at all in those, like...
I never fell asleep, but I can't say I paid great attention. Which I think I've been very vocal about not being the most paying attention student ever. Just don't sitting in a classroom listening to things wasn't already going not my
But
cup
on
of tea.
computer...
But let alone you put it on a computer where I
Yeah.
can do an endless other amount of things.
And that was before the TikTok Reels thing, where it really took over.
Yeah.
Where you get sucked into your phone so easily.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had like an 8 a.m. English Gen Ed Zoom.
Yeah.
My freshman year. And we had it was like half of it was Zoom and then you'd go in person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I used to do was I'd put my computer up in my desk and we didn't have to participate. So they would just lecture for 50 minutes. I was like, all right, I'll just maybe set my alarm on for 9 o'clock instead of 8. We'll turn it on real quick and go back in bed.
Yeah.
Last mistake, though, is forgot to get up. And so the professor I'm waking up to, Grayson, you there? Hello? I'm like, oh, no.
Getting the professor as an alarm clock is not
I was like, hey, I was really blown away by whatever book we're reading today.
Yeah, I was taken back by all this knowledge that was pouring into my
The
brain.
themes quite literally left me speechless that my computer did not work.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was having microphone troubles. That was on me. My bad.
Oh, yeah.
I'll look into that.
I'll take my computer over to the Apple store. We'll get it figured out.
Yeah, something technical. Some very complex technical reason caused this to happen. It was always funny seeing who was going to play when it was like, all right, see you later. And then seeing how many people just like stayed on the Zoom.
You usually have people that immediately darted off. They were ready to get out of there.
Yeah.
Or the people that probably weren't paying attention that took maybe a few minutes
Mm-hmm.
to log off. And they're like, hey, you still there? Like,
I see we went from 100 to 8 people. maybe class is over.
like, wait a minute, where is everybody?
See, if I was a teacher, what I would have done and see who logged off immediately, because they were obviously near their computer. Like,
Sure.
At least had the tab open to where they could click out of there. Foolproof way to kind of check. The people that were lingering around, you probably were doing something else.
So give it like a 5-minute clock and like, all right, I'm going to check what they were doing.
Yeah.
We're going to turn that mic back on.
Yeah. And, check it out. So you did sports coming in, or once you got cleared. Do you have like a specific degree, like emphasis or something in that, or is it just generally like called sports comm and that's all it is?
It's really pretty general. I mean,
Okay.
It was just sports comm. It was sort of the major that was, because they don't have a sports journalism program at Clemson. And I probably should have gone somewhere with a sports journalism program, but again, I want to be at Clemson. So a lot of it was there were some media classes, there were some more research-heavy classes if you wanted to be more of an SID on that side. And I think Clemson's sort of now forming it into sports journalism, making it more about, okay, this is a podcasting class, and this is general media, this is what you do to break a story type of thing that have become more available since the demand has grown.
Yeah.
And even going back and speaking at a few classes, the class size just dramatically increases by the semester. So there's a lot more willing journalists, I guess, out there, or a lot of people will get in there and they are like, I want to be a play-by-play broadcast, and they realize that it doesn't work like that. Right. And their opinion or viewpoint shifts a bit, and there's just so many different avenues to take. And so I think Clemson does a decent job of
kind of exposing you to everything.
Yeah, it's like there's maybe 5 of, like, everyone wants to be a Jim Nance or a Kirk Herbstreit or Chris Fowler, and that's just not reality.
Yeah.
And so to be able to, like, sort of dive into different avenues of, okay, maybe I could beat writer, I could podcast, or I could be behind the scenes. Maybe the microphone isn't for me. And so there were a lot of different things that I tried out. And ultimately I landed in this kind of world, and I've been kind of dipping my toes in different things still, and it's been fun.
Yeah, it seems like correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of have free will to test out things as you're kind of going about.
Yeah, and of course there's that looming pressure of, okay, May of 2024, I better have this thing figured out.
Yeah, sure.
So I can start making money.
Yeah.
But I think 2020 I was doing different shows. I was obviously still doing the podcast. I got into beat writing in my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
And then broadcasted college basketball, like D2, small stuff, for 2 years, and still do it occasionally, just if I have an extra day or some time.
Yeah.
So that like spirit of wanting to try different things never really goes away if you're really into it. But I think I definitely figured out that I really loved this business was when it started to get a little time consuming. It became all I did. It's like, do I really love this? This what I try to tell people is it demands a lot out of you. So if you don't love this, it's probably not for you.
Yeah.
This is going to be your life.
It takes over a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
What went into kind of you picking your path of going into whatever, like your different, kind of narrowing your field?
I would say around junior year, I was doing the podcast for 2 years, and I felt like I had a little bit of a refined enough craft to try to intern somewhere, and so I would DM local news people and player, just trying to see where I could fit. And the idea of being a beat writer came up, and I was like, writing? No, like I don't want to do that. That sounds so lame, so dumb. Like I want to be in front of a microphone at all times. And around my senior year, I was really starting to fall in love with the storytelling aspect of it, and that it made me much better verbally. Like I would notice my points on my shows would be improved, or the way I would try to break down this specific sequence was enhanced because of what I was doing over with my first internship's one thing. My second internship was with Clemson Rivals and Larry Williams there, and just really sparking that fire of, I really love telling stories, and it doesn't matter to me now where that comes from, whether it's through our podcast or maybe it's on the Roar and we're doing a pregame interview, or we're just trying to explain how Clemson's supposed to beat Miami today. It is, I can do this in different avenues. That's what's been exciting.
That is very interesting. It's cool how everything kind of comes together, and what you're saying of it's all interconnected, on the fact of when you're kind of writing it, you're imagining, you're probably thinking through your points a whole lot more and laying out that process of here's what I'm going to talk about. And when you get in front of the microphone to then go speak, it's more clear and direct of what you're trying to get to. It makes it a lot easier than just trying to, go back to read the paper, It changes how everything you can present on it, and you can now change your voice to connect with the sentence and make it so you have like a pop to it to get people's ear. So I imagine that it was probably very beneficial.
It was like an ecosystem for me where like one thing helped another, where there'd be times early where my boss would be like, hey, we're going to put you on this basketball game for Clemson. Give me a 400-word summation of what happens. And you're sitting there like, I don't know. The words just haven't popped out yet. And now I can do that in my sleep, essentially. I've been doing it for years now, and I'm not perfect by any means, but it's just more natural. Yeah. And it's a little different, too, where I can type it out, and if I don't like how a sentence sounds, I can rearrange some things. But when, like on the microphone now, it's, okay, how can I say the same thing 60 different times? Like, there's only so many ways I could have said last year, man, Clemson's really disappointing. So there's the enrichment of certain stuff that I've been able to do, and so that's doing that for years before it became a full-time thing really helped out.
I think it's really firing that kind of creative part of the brain. Yeah. To get kind of going on those. That's kind of would be my thought of it. Really activates whichever side it is.
I was told in 5th grade art that it was one of the two sides, and one was trying to plot against me, essentially.
Well, it was not the third side, so it had to be. It was one or the other.
I was like left brain and right brain, and one is.
I think it's right, but
it used to confuse me as a kid. I was like, how do I activate one half of my brain?
Yeah,
like that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that's why just didn't go into anatomy. Never figured it out. That's why we're doing this instead.
I don't think we'd be good doctors.
I would hate to tell them. I have no idea what the right or left side of the brain does. oh well, I've made it this far without knowing that, and
Yeah, we're fine.
I'm not going to memorize it at this
We're
point.
good.
Was there a part growing up that had this kind of writing aspect to it and this like creative side that you were seeing going on that kind of influenced you to get to what you were doing?
I don't think so. I mean, my start technically was doing PA for JV football, and they did that because I did theater in high school, and so they were like, "You're not shy.
Yeah.
Go. We just need you to read names and players for parents that were there." And for our private school JV team, there's probably 50 people in the stands, and all of them are parents.
Yeah.
So like, all right, we're gonna have Jacob here. Just had a 5-yard rush. That's a first down for the Panthers, and that would be it.
Yeah.
And I ended up putting my own little spin on it, where I essentially turned into a mini broadcast. But a lot of it would be writing down like enunciations and how to pronounce certain things or scores and stuff like that. But the writing really came into focus that junior year, where people were telling me that you can't be this one-trick pony here. This podcast isn't going to be enough. And I found that really interesting. Well, this isn't just going to magically blow up. Like, what's happening here? So I didn't see its necessity until it was right in my face. But I think that what I do now, I mean, it's so important. I can't imagine not doing it.
Right.
So it never really was like when I was 16, I ever thought, oh yeah, I'm going to be a writer in the field of sports. But now I couldn't imagine a life without it.
Yeah. Life changes fast, I suppose. Were you involved in any sports throughout? Or did you play anything? Or
yeah, I played football and tennis in high school, so two drastically different.
Very different. Yeah.
We had at our school we had like 17 players my junior year, so you're playing everything, and I was tiny. Like I would consider myself like average build. Yeah. But I was like a toothpick in high school. Yeah. So when they ran out like 4 or 5-star recruits at certain schools, I'm like, I don't know what I can do here. Like I can only do so much.
It's always, yeah, that is the tough part. When you play some of those big schools, and it's tough. It is very tough.
There was does the name Jordan Birch ring a bell to you at all?
No, I can't say so.
So we're playing a school called Hammond. And he's one of the best prospects in the country. Yeah. This 5-star, 6'5", 275 defensive end that's built like a freight train and was committed to South Carolina. And so we got like Will Muschamp and different like recruiting people there to come watch him. And so we're watching film that week, and we had 18 kids. We haven't won a game. They're going to go win our state championship for our league. I'm like, all right, they throw Jordan out there for third down goal line situations if they got to have it. They're probably going to beat us, so I don't think they're going to use it. But it's third and goal, and we're down 30-0. And we're feeling good about ourselves. Yeah, we got to stop here. Like, let's go. Yeah. And out comes 5, Jordan Birch, and I'm sitting there as a boundary corner like, I got to make a business decision here. I either will look stupid on film, or I'm going to get my collarbone separated from I'm going to get plowed into the earth's crust. And I made a split-second decision, got my head put in the dirt, but at least, I mean, he's playing for the Cardinals now, so there's a fun story
that
aspect, but I had no chance.
No.
Much better at talking about it than I am playing it, for sure.
I understand that. You play some people, and it's just like, wow, that's unimaginable. I played basketball growing up, and we played quite a few people. Played PJ Hall, is obviously like we've got to share the court with him.
Big dude.
Big guy. Not going to do anything there. Bryce McGowan's is another one. He's playing on I believe he's on the Hornets or the New Orleans Pelicans now.
Oh, yeah.
But he was the most memorable one because we played him in the playoffs, and he scored 73 basically on my best friend.
Oh, my Lord.
And so we just never lived that down now because, I mean, who can't?
Did you play Zion in high school?
We did not. He was just a little further out. I wish we played him. Well, not really, but it would have been interesting. Quite a story to say.
Yeah. I would have not. Have you seen that clip of that little kid playing?
Yeah.
Where he's confused that he's like, who is this?
Why is he out here? I need to see a birth certificate. This is not.
Yeah.
No way, this guy.
I am 12, man.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like he slid the ref a 20 right before and was like, okay, I'm going to play in 5th grade basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zion's high school mixtape is a very tough one. But then you look at his whole competition, it's like, all right, everyone's like 5'7", and
he's still doing it at Duke though. So
he was doing it at Duke. He gave him business, and then NBA has not gone his way. But
yeah, you can't stay on the court, man.
No, I mean, I just kind of thought that'd be one of his problems with when you're weighing that much and you're landing that hard every time. It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, that the force that you're generating on some of those, and then people just defend you differently. And
yeah, well, now you're not playing, any bombs.
Yeah, the first round March Madness game where you're playing some school you've probably never heard of. Got LeBron and Giannis guarding you every night.
It's very different. Now you're playing also 82 games, and you're not. So just the force you're generating, and I think now he looks pretty good this offseason, but every offseason it's like, oh, look at Zion, and then game 16 rolls around and it's like Zion's out for the season. So hopefully he makes it. But
I'll be on Twitter in a random November. It's like, oh, Zion just dropped 35. Like, looks pretty good. Pelicans still stink, but he looks great. And then December, it's, well, Zion's out for the year.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. It's like, wow, he's a phenom, and then he just never plays the whole time.
Yeah, he's made his money, so I think he's probably okay with it.
Yeah, that's a tough part. It's like, well, I got $200 million, so
yeah,
dang.
That's the Deshaun Watson conundrum is Cleveland gives you $250 million guaranteed, regardless of what you do. That's while he had the lawsuits pending.
Yeah.
Shoot, do I have to work out? Like, really want to.
Yeah, I think that becomes a very difficult place to be. Like, if you're not on a good team and you're making just tons of money, it's kind of like, I guess especially nowadays.
Yeah. Back
in the, early 2000s, it doesn't seem like they were making still making very good money.
Yeah.
But it's not the ridiculous numbers that you hear now, where it's just like every player's 10+ million contract, and it's like, okay.
Has the contract thing kind of ruined it in your head where you'll see a guy get a $9 million deal and you're like, oh, that's not a ton of money.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
You just made everything I'm going to make in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Right there. I'm like, cool. Yeah, I think so. I think it's now if you're not signing the $300 million contracts, okay, broke.
Yeah. Some more money, man.
Dude, get your bread up.
I saw the clip of, I don't know which NFL player it was, but he's like, yeah, that $50 million contract will go away pretty quickly. And someone was like, how?
Yeah.
He's like,
what are you doing?
What are you spending it on?
That is my favorite meme I saw. It's the one of Odell where he was like, yeah, $100 million you can't live off of.
Pretty sure you can.
Yeah, and then I think Kyle Kuzma clapped back. It was like, what are you doing, bro?
Did you buy an island?
Yeah, what did you spend it on? But then the meme takes off of where it's like, yeah, $100 million is not that much. You got to pay your agent. You got taxes. So that's half of it. Then you got to buy your mom a crib. You got to buy your boys a crib. It's like, you do? I didn't know that was in the contract.
The first three make sense to me. It's like, okay, you're taking care of your people,
but
okay.
Yeah, maybe the 16 Lamborghinis was not.
Even after all of those expenses, I still have half of that, which I would hope at least.
I don't know what you're doing with it.
Your agent's probably making a ton of money then if you're running out of $100 million.
Yeah. So, yeah. It is insane. It's also now insane with the NIL that also just makes it.
It's so complicated.
What do you think? What do you think about it as someone that's in the?
I don't think that players. I think they absolutely should be paid. I mean, the whole idea of. And you've seen Manziel, that documentary where he's a phenom and should have been compensated as such. I think that right there is fine to me. The idea of, I think in concept of what the NCAA envisioned was, okay, if a player gets a Subway ad, you'll make a few bucks off of that, and that's totally fine. Right. I mean, you should be able to, because some of these guys will be the Stetson Bennett's of the world, great college players, but probably not going to play in the NFL for a decade. Mm-hmm. But if you could use that 4 years to make yourself $3 million at a place like Georgia,
Well, even a few $100,000 is still a significant amount of money.
Great bump to
coming out of college with a couple.
Yeah, I think Sweeney's point is like, okay, you get a degree still, you get an education, but now you got some funds to work with if the NFL doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that in its own, when you just put it like that, it's totally fine.
It's amazing.
But it hasn't worked out like that, and I think it's been taken wildly out of control, where it's essentially the NFL junior, but with no rules and no regulations, and so you have different players. The funniest example to me is in high school recruiting, where there will be kids that are being paid to take official visits and being paid to stay committed to. And it's the funniest thing whenever I tweet out like a commitment, the most common retort or comment I get is, well, it doesn't matter until he signs in December. And they're not wrong.
Yeah.
Just because of the nature of everything, where one 5-star will tweet out in the morning, all right, and he was an LSU committed. It was, okay, go Tigers in case y'all forgot. And then by lunchtime, he's flipped to Miami. And so it becomes a bidding war, and I think that's where people are turned off by it.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them for that as well. And then you have these schools that seemingly have infinite amount of funds and aren't having to report any of it. And so it becomes, I think for the college football fan in maybe 2010, it was pageantry. It was seeing these kids develop and get to that next level where they can make their millions. And it's become a, what have you done for me lately type of sport.
Yeah.
And it sort of diminished the I think the sport on the field has never been better, but it's been soured by what's been going on in the background.
Yeah, I think it's too interesting, kind of double edge of the sword there, is the fact that now there really is no more sitting behind someone to wait for your turn. There's just, let me go to wherever I can start now or get paid now or whatever XYZ it is, which is good and bad in a sense of you're not seeing a player sit there and develop and learn like how they typically would have. Instead, they're either going to an equally or maybe better school, maybe worse, depending on the situation, and playing immediately or getting more reps, whatever it may be. And I don't know if how long that's sustainable, because the other part of this is you now have players that played for like 7 years, and now we're finally getting out of that. So what's going to happen in the next couple of years where you're not...
Someone will sue and it'll be 6 for 6 instead of 5 for 5.
Well, that was an interesting thing with like the Texas-New Mexico quarterback that was trying to get. I thought it was Big Ten. It was Texas Tech. The one over the summer or a couple months ago that had the lawsuit with NCAA about eligibility, and he was basically trying to say like sue for it, basically. And then the judge overturned it, and then the NCAA was like, "This is ridiculous."
Yeah, I wonder which quarterback that was. That Trinidad Chambliss with Ole Miss, or I mean, there were a lot of examples.
I thought Ole Miss also did it. I thought it was. I thought it was Texas Tech.
I know. I mean, in Sorsby with Texas Tech, that's a whole another can of worms with the gambling stuff. And
he did that as well. I thought. He did gambling as well. Yeah. Was he not going for eligibility as well?
No, he was eligible.
It was just trying to. Oh, okay. Well, I was wrong.
He was trying to argue that.
I think I mixed both stories.
Texas Tech was trying to argue that somehow, we know he gambled for years and he's got a problem, but
the gambling
he should
wasn't
play
that
college.
bad.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. Okay. Then I mixed the two things. Ole Miss.
Yeah, Chambliss. I think he had an actual case where he had played in the junior college, which I think shouldn't count.
Yeah.
Just because it's two different levels of football.
Yeah. It is. Is there finally a hard set rule though, in what it is?
You think so, right?
you would hope, but it doesn't seem like there is.
What it's boiled down to is if I can't get this judge to do it, I'll just go to our judge that's 10 minutes away from the stadium and has an Ole Miss flag in his driveway, and he'll rule in our favor for the betterment of the sport. And I like Trinidad, and I don't try to blame the kids. I think a lot of this is agent. University driven, because Trinidad State's for another year. That's more money for Ole Miss. That's more money for the agent. Obviously, more money for him in his own pocket. But I'm not going to blame an 18-year-old kid for chasing millions of dollars for his gifts.
No, but at 20,
25, it's
all right. Go play the pros or
sure.
get on with life. I don't know. It seems to me like there should just be get JUCO and then 5 years and let's call it let's call it a day at that, and I don't know, throw in a redshirt year or something, and that pretty much covers 99% of.
You think 5 years would be enough for probably the average population of the sport?
Well, like, I mean, if you're not going to the pros and you're not making money, there's no reason for you to really play like more than 5. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
at some point you're just gonna realize this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
And I mean, by year 5, if you're not playing like serious time, it's one of those things where like, I probably shouldn't be playing.
But I think that would be helpful for most. From an academic standpoint, you'd get through a normal undergrad degree or take the full 5 years to finish, or you could start a master's program while you were there. So I think that'd be it's kind of my thought process.
Yeah.
Like, it's beneficial for them as a student and as a player potentially. I gotta say, if you're a phenom, I don't understand why you're staying there.
Yeah, I mean, you're gone in 3 years if you can get to the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. But the gambling thing, that's way more interesting.
I mean, there's the story about the Cardinals scout that basically he knows where they're going to go on the draft. So he's like, all right, we're going to be drafting Jeremiah Love. I'm going to tell all my friends about it to bet as much money as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Pete Thamel had tweeted about this saying, like, I don't think this is going to be the last story where we talk about something like this. And Sorsby is a unique example because of if he was playing DB somewhere, I don't think people care as much. But when it's the quarterback and the architect of a program, and Texas Tech just made the playoffs, and they're one of those new NIL crop of schools that have popped up because they have the money. It's just been waiting to be unleashed. But it was really unique to see the college football world sort of stand up and say, no, this is not okay. And he shouldn't be playing. And then for the NFL to go, yeah, you're not playing either.
Yeah.
It's sort of this rare thing where consequences do have actions.
Yeah.
And I hate it for him because he's clearly got an issue. And I hope he figures it out and he can have a long and successful career.
Yeah.
But shouldn't have been playing at Texas Tech for sure.
Yeah. I think it was bad when the Canadian Football League dropped in and said, you're not playing with us either.
It's to make matters worse.
Kind of a slap to the face.
The CFL's like, nope, not you two.
Yeah, it's like, hate that for you, but you're not playing here either. Even,
Oh, man, that sucks. Well, you're not going either, so.
Yeah, crazy. That is a rough one, though. Yeah, it's really hard, though, when you've had NIL and gambling both, like, it's going up constant. I mean, the popularity of it and the accessibility, two very big problems. And I can't imagine Sorsby's like, I don't know. I find it hard to believe that out of all of college sports, he's the lone. With how easy it is to just gamble on it. I mean, you can do a prop bet.
FanDuel or Prize Picks on your phone. And this CBS article that broke Sorsby getting caught for gambling, one of the lines is, Sorsby, who had X odds on FanDuel to win the Heisman Trophy, it's like, it's everywhere. And, I mean, the McAfees, the Cowherds, every podcast they do, they got a gambling ad. It's a big part of the industry now. So if there were players at any university that were betting on their own games, it wouldn't surprise me. Not at all.
Yeah. I gotta say, if you're betting on a team, your own team to win, I don't feel as bad about it as like if you're doing like a player bet. The player bet where it's like, I'm only going to score X amount of points, or if I'm going to take, some type of something more related to like a stat where you could more throw it. But I don't know, if you're betting like for your team to win on the over.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're gonna
crush this team.
It's like, I bet we're gonna beat LSU today, and you're putting like $20 on it. It's like, yeah, that's probably a little bit of an ethical conundrum here, but if you're trying to win anyways, it's not like if you're like, okay, I'm betting that we'll lose to LSU, and I'm going to try to figure out a way to drop that third down pass that keeps us from doing that, that's where you have concern. So
that is always where the concern will be.
Yeah. Or like Rozier, the report that came on him with the Heat, where he's telling his buddies, my over-under is 18.5 tonight. I'm going to go play for 16 minutes. I'm going to take a dive.
Yeah.
And not play. Like, that's
That's
where people get concerned about why this stuff is staged and scripted. It very much draws out into question.
It causes a very big problem. The NBA has been very interesting over the past year, where you've had so many FBI investigations into gambling,
like Chauncey Billups working with the mafia.
And I was like, what?
I am like a simulation that does not read correctly.
Yeah, it is odd. I was like, I did not think Chauncey Billups would be in the caught for gambling.
Right. It's like, can I reach out to the FBI for a comment if I'm a Blazers reporter?
Yeah. Can I get something?
Can we get an official word from was it Cash Patel? Can he give us some information?
Yeah. Can we get an exclusive? What's the deal with that? Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know how you take the money out of it. Or I don't know how you get rid of it, to be honest. That's a very tough one. What do you do with it now it's there?
I don't. Yeah. I don't have that. That's
way
for them
above.
To decide.
It's hard when the house is making so much money and can, just push.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think affected it quite a bit. I think those two things are big. That now that you're having gambling, and now it's like you're gambling and you're picking a player, and it's like that player sucks because he didn't hit my bet, like my line, and it's like, all right,
I'm gonna DM TJ Moore that he didn't catch 100 passes this season. Like, what the heck, man?
What the heck, bro? You just lost my $20 into $1,000. I can't.
Yeah.
My 1 in 7 parlay didn't hit.
It's the fantasy football conundrum where you're like, you didn't score for my fantasy team today. What's up with that? And you DM a player.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, sorry.
Yeah. It's like unnecessary hate for the guys.
Some take it really personally, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, why'd you only get 5 rebounds instead of 6? Like,
I don't know. Ball didn't fall my way.
I don't know. It wasn't out there. Golly. Yeah. It's a curious time. It's a curious time to be in sports. For sure.
So my first 2 months at TigerNet, we had the Clemson sued the ACC and had that big hearing in Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there. Do you watch Suits at all?
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like I'm in an episode of Suits right now. Like, this is not what I signed up for. This is very different. Mm-hmm. And it's been that way for 2 years, where every few months there'll be this court ruling, or there'll be this new law, or what Trump was trying to do with I think it was Trump, Ted Cruz, another senator, where they're doing the Protect College Sports Act.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, as a Clemson reporter, I'm reporting on the president of the United States. Like, that's a little interesting, a little out of left field for me. I'm used to, this is why Clemson won or lost today, not this is what the Oval Office is up to this afternoon.
You didn't expect to get the law degree.
That's Armani's deal. That's what he's doing.
I can imagine you didn't expect to be, poli-sci all of a sudden, and it's like...
Yeah, it's like, I don't have a law degree, but I'll do my best.
I'll give it a sure bet all right on that.
It's like, I'm going to have to, remember what my law class told me. Okay, nope, I'm out.
I have a fun fact. I don't know what any of these words mean.
Yeah. Half the time I was just looking up words while because we had to, live update our board.
Yeah.
So, hundreds of people were like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, your guess is as good as mine, to be honest with you.
You come in here and I can go out there and I don't know if it'd make a difference, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, that's a very interesting spin on things that you wouldn't think you'd get involved in. But I guess you'll have more of that. Maybe you get ask Clemson for another degree.
Maybe. Let's go back for a few weeks and get an intro to basic law.
Yeah. Can you just break down these definitions for me?
Can you break down the whole appellate court thing? I don't really understand it, but do my best.
Yeah, that's that is very interesting. Things to get mixed up in.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be curious to see what comes of all that, though. I mean, once you finally kind of get a decision.
Yeah, so Clemson is in this weird spot where I think they're going to be a part of that group that probably in college football is heading for a Super League.
Mm-hmm.
NFL style at some point, where 25 to 30 of the most popular brands will get together.
Yeah.
And there'll be a North, East, West, South division.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine Miami, the SEC and the Big Ten, they're barreling towards a
collab.
We're getting out of here.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine in their escape they'll grab a few more schools, and I think Clemson's going to be one of them.
I would imagine.
But that won't be for another few years.
You think that what would you say the likelihood? Do you think? Thinking like it's just a matter of time, or is it just like?
I think it's more likely than not. I don't want to put a number on it.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't shock me if Clemson's a part of some Super League at some point.
Well, I think you see that now, where like a bunch of the Pac-12 teams were just completely unprofitable this past year
because they just did away with once Oregon and UCLA and them left the Big Ten, it was they were just on their grave step. Or I mean, pretty much the Pac-12 had a mass exodus and just joined the Big Ten and the Big 12.
Yeah.
So if that happened to the ACC, and let's say Clemson, Miami, and a few others joined the SEC, and then Virginia, and this is all speculation. Virginia joins the Big Ten or North Carolina, and a lot of this could be academic based with the Big Ten or the SEC.
Yeah.
Or Florida State will go join the SEC. It wouldn't shock me if
to me it would make sense to go more like the regional, kind of just split it up that way.
Well, once Cal's in the ACC, nothing makes any sense.
No, that makes zero sense. I remember seeing that, and it's like that's who joined.
The ACC is no longer the Atlantic Coast Conference; it's the All Coasts Conference. We got the Gulf Coast, we got the Pacific Coast.
Just hit it all, and it's like, okay, don't know why that happened, but all right. Yeah, I think it'd be helpful though to just have a super conference. I think it also, at that point, you can have like a commissioner or some sort of regulatory system, which is also needed. But to me, those kind of go hand in hand. Of you're not going to solve the NIL problem without solving right now your conference problem.
Well, once you do away with SEC and Big Ten and some of those brands, and they sort of come together where Alabama and Ohio State are just programs, and whatever college football league comes of it, it's not the SEC protecting their own and the Big Ten protecting their own and the ACC fighting to protect somebody.
Yeah.
And it becomes more of a unified front of these are the rules and regulations of the one true league, and this is the person that's charged with overseeing it. Once you get something like that, I think the sport is at a much healthier spot. Yep. But right now, I mean, you get leagues sniping each other at this time of year where the SEC's we have the 9-game conference with XYZ here, and that's not anywhere else. And so it's a mess right now, but hopefully at some point it'll be fixed.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone wants. They just want to see a system that can go back to functioning, and it's just not chaotic. It's not being so much money thrown in your face every year about someone jumping ship to go play in this conference for millions of dollars. It's like, just want some semblance of everyone's going out there to play again. It's not this school giving out $40 million across, to fund its whole team. I just need something to bring it all back together to where it's like, all right, there's some.
We gotta go travel back in time to 2014 and be like, we gotta stop here.
We need to be done.
Bring it back.
2016 was when we should have just stopped. That was prime time for everybody. Yeah, I'll be curious to see what evolves over the next. Especially, I think what's interesting is the playoff system expanding. Yeah, that's why I think this is becoming more likely. Because you're probably going to get to a 25-team playoff, I would think. I think eventually
it's inevitable.
What you have. And honestly, I think that's better, but I think it would be better if you just have regions. Because right now it's like, SEC is going to get, 8 teams in, or it's going to be half. And it's like, okay, that's...
The rules aren't the same for a 9-2 or 10-2 Big Ten team as it is for a 10-2 ACC team. And so once you have more of a... And I get that because the competition, Clemson's not playing Oregon, Ohio State, and Michigan they're playing Miami and maybe somebody else. So I understand that.
Yeah.
That doesn't anger me, and nor should it anger anybody else. But like you said with the league, if Clemson and Ohio State are in the same league or division, and you have a little bit more of an equal ground.
Yeah.
And you're not protecting a brand, you're protecting just the overall. It's just college football. It's not the SEC, or it's not the Big Ten. Maybe that's how you represent the divisions, but it's all under the... It'd be like if the AFC and the NFC were only allowed select people in their playoff, but it was a 12-team playoff, but you weren't doing it by the AFC and the NFC. It was okay, the NFC had a stronger strength of schedule this year, so sorry, Denver, you won 13 games this year, but you didn't play anybody. So, or New England this year, the schedule argument, you won 14 games, but you're not going to be the number 2 seed in your conference. You're going to be arbitrarily selected by a committee that's got its own agenda. Mm-hmm. You're now the 8th seed in this NFL playoff, and you're going to get a harder competition because of that. So it just hasn't made any sense.
No, I think the committee has not been very consistent in how they've gone about picking people. I think that bothers people. I think there's just a lot that's bothering people, quite frankly.
I don't think you can please anybody, and with an expanded playoff system, I think you're creating more victims than you're actually deserving teams. Where do we really need to debate about number 24 Iowa or number 25 Michigan State on whether they can go toe-to-toe with Miami this year?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to have that type of argument.
I think 4 was a very good number.
I think perfect number.
I think if you did 4, it was very good because those were the best teams. You know, like if you won out and you're in a weak conference, you were in pretty much. And if you're in the SEC, you probably have a little bit more favoritism still. But it made it to where there's just no likelihood where it's number 15 comes back and wins a game. Like there's not going to be a Cinderella in college football seems very unlikely.
Well, you had like number 1 Duke playing. I don't know, was it Iona or it was one of those really tiny schools that they shot 50% from the floor or something, and were able to nearly get close to taking down Duke.
Yeah,
the style of play just doesn't.
It doesn't replicate in football as well.
Tulane can't go out there and beat Ole Miss because Ole Miss has got NFL athletes. Tulane's maybe got 1.
Yeah,
and he'll be gone by the end of December because he'll transfer.
Yeah.
And get a little bit more money. So just the sport, at least football doesn't, and even in that situation where, let's say number 24 Iowa does beat, their unranked Minnesota beats Ohio State. Yeah. That's like a once in a million type of thing. That's why those upsets are so special.
Yeah.
Or when Clemson,
I think when Notre Dame dropped a game a year or two, a couple years ago now, and it's like, wow, it was like to some state school or something.
Yeah, they lost it was Ball State. It was
something like that.
I'm trying to figure out who it was because I remember his coach went and it's like going to bother me for the rest of the show. Yeah. Like, who did Notre Dame lose to?
Yeah.
Because I remember it ended up costing them.
It cost them a spot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was like that's just a 1 in a million type thing of happening.
Right. It was like, oh man, Notre Dame lost to who? Like, that's the story of the year. App State beating Michigan.
Yeah.
They're not going to go beat Alabama next week.
Nope. It's, that's what makes it just exciting. You know, everyone wants to see the underdog kind of go and win, and it rarely happens. I'd say, especially when you get to the later part of the season, you know, I'd say at the upfront where you're coming off of summer break and all of that.
Yeah.
First week 1, some teams drop the bag, but you just don't even see. I mean, you might see them pull it out the nail, and then the Alabama finally beats them, and it's like, okay.
Or it's like an unranked South Carolina in. No, I hate to use this example for any Clemson fans that might be tuning in, but when unranked South Carolina came off and they pretty much eliminated 2 playoff teams to end their season, when Spencer Rattler, they beat Tennessee, and then they came to beat Clemson and took down the Tigers there.
Yeah, that sucked.
And that was the first year I was covering on the beat, and we can get into a whole other story about why that day was interesting.
Yeah,
but I'm sitting there like, this is just the cherry on top for today because now we can't go cover a playoff game. But it was, I mean, that's what makes college football exciting, right? Is unranked 6-5 Carolina could go beat them, but it has to have the ingredients for it. They're not going to go beat number 1 Georgia that year that took down TCU by 50. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that was a tough part. That's where, how does TCU, I don't know, TCU gets there by a miracle.
Yeah, that's how Garrett Riley came to Clemson, too.
Yeah.
Which now Clemson fans are probably like the Interstellar meme where guys pounding on the wall.
Don't
do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's happened. What? Curious, what did make the day interesting?
Yeah, so I have to keep names out of it, but my first internship, I may keep the site as well out of it, but I had gotten an internship with a certain site, and there were some red flags, is all I'll say, but at some point my boss had gotten arrested, actually. Yeah. During the season. The news broke during that game.
Yeah.
And that's what, it was for some crazy stuff. Like,
that would make it interesting.
Like a hit and run at Burger King because he got in an altercation with an employee and broke a pole or something like that. And then they came to his house, they found tons of weed. So they arrested him, and Clemson revoked his credentials. And he had been arrested for like 3 weeks, and I only found out till the morning of the South Carolina game. So I was like, oh no. And he said some pretty racist things to the Burger King person. So I was like, shoot, my career's toast.
Yeah. Cooked off the bat.
Yeah. I opened my computer up and I'm like, I don't even want to cover this. What's happening?
Wow. That's a rough way to jump into things.
It's like, hey guys, if there's some red flags, I want to pay attention to those instead of just going on with it. But I was 21. I had a job on the beat, and I was doing things I'd never even dreamed of. So you tend to ignore a few things when that's going on.
Yeah, at 21, you don't have the best of analytical.
Sure.
Kind of just like a job and money.
Sure.
I'll take it. Not really going to ask much further than that. Those were my two main concerns. So, check and check.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Clemson football, what are you kind of thinking?
Oh, man. How much time do we got?
I'm sure you talk about it a lot and not enough, but
yeah, it's
here's what I'm curious on. You've had a couple of years now where it's been, I'll say, it's good. It's not really great. You're not terrible, but you're not definitely not teams of the past, 100%. You're just not teams of the past. And that's your benchmark, pretty much, that most fans are looking at. So where do you now start to, do you see this as now, is it kind of just a rebuilding phase of what's going to happen, or what do you kind of expect for the next couple of years?
So I think to answer that question, we have to go back to this time last year, where if we had sat down and you'd asked me that question before the LSU opener last fall, I would have told you that it would be a major disappointment if this team's not competing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just given what they had done the year prior, you sneak into the playoff. You're really the only road team that showed up.
Yeah.
In that first inaugural 12-team playoff.
That was a very impressive game.
Klubnik plays out of his mind in that second half, and you had saw pieces and glimpses of what he could do.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to give him credit a little bit, where when the SMU game, comeback against Pittsburgh, some crazy stuff in Virginia Tech, and you'd sort of seen, okay, he's starting to play like the player they recruited him to be.
Yeah.
And the throws he was making, and you turn on some of that tape, and okay, if this version of Kid Klubnik, which had been trending into that direction, if he shows up for 25,
we're just going, and
all the pieces come back, and then you add Tom Allen, who had just came off of a semifinal run with Penn State, and he had NFL talent on that team, but they're still a really cohesive unit. Okay, what's the limit for this Clemson team with a guy, Dabo Swinney, who knows what he's doing, coordinator Garrett Riley, who's starting to figure it out?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I had read several mock drafts at this time last year where Klubnik was the number one pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Very interesting world for what we knew beforehand and what we know now. It's wild to me that we ever even thought of, okay, this team's going for a national championship? Really? So you get to that LSU opener, and obviously the season happens the way it does.
Right.
But everyone on that beat kind of looked at 2026 like a transitional year because Klubnik was going to the NFL regardless. Now you lose Garrett Riley and you bring back Chad Morris. You were losing so many NFL pieces, the Parkers, the Peter Woods, the Terrells. You still have guys like TJ Moore and Wesco around.
Yeah.
But you lost so much of your core that you thought was going to take you back to the playoffs. And so when you add 7-6 disappointment on top of that, I think rebuild's an appropriate word for Clemson, where if they win a national championship this year, I would be absolutely floored. It'd be great for...
Sure.
It'd be awesome for you, for me, for different reasons. Clemson back to prominence. It's great for business if we're in Las Vegas in January.
It's always good to be winning.
And that would be a fun trip.
Yeah.
So I look at it from the lens of how can it improve from last year. And so I look at the season and think if they can win 9 games, and last year was such a mess, is what you take away from it. You go rewatch some of these games. that are very winnable.
Mm-hmm.
Just these mistakes that you didn't see with Clemson in its heyday. And so Clemson has to get back to being Clemson, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They got to protect the football. They can't keep giving up these chunk plays. I think they were top 25 in chunk plays given up in the country.
Yeah.
Duke game, probably had 6 of them.
That was a tough one.
So
that was not fun.
I don't think they're going to go to the playoff this year.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to be as bad as people may. I don't see a repeat of last year.
Well, I mean, people's expectations are normally worse than what you can actually have. You're normally expecting kind of the worst. I just don't. I'll see as similar would be my, like...
Yeah.
I'm not expecting this to be off the ground or at the bottom.
And when you hear all, like, Sweeney's like, oh, well, we got this and that, and fans last year are like, all right, yes.
Yeah.
Like, we are right there with you. And now they're like, well... They're a little bit hesitant. It's sort of like if you're getting back to a relationship with an old girl, and she's like, well, the things that I did wrong in the past relationship, or maybe it's a guy telling you this, and you're like, I'm just not as sure before because you've hurt me.
Yeah.
And I don't want that hurt again, especially if I know what I'm getting myself into.
Mm-hmm. So
you have, for Clemson fans, this cynicism that I think is fair, where they're like, yeah, sure, we've heard the offense is explosive before. It wasn't.
The 85 bubble screens told me differently.
We've heard the quarterback play is going to be better this year.
Yeah.
It wasn't. And so you have a group of fans who are positive and you have the negatives, but I think there's a large majority that are just kind of in wait-and-see mode.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of lie from my analysis is I don't think it could be as bad, but let's see how this looks in Baton Rouge in a few weeks. And
yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough opener for... Definitely.
Yeah.
But I think Dabo kind of stepped on his tongue last year from, I think, raising up these expectations that they're coming off and we're going to be back and we're going to be even better. And I kind of understand the reserved. Like,
yeah.
I wish he did it last year.
Just like tempered it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, guys, this probably won't be as good.
Yeah, I think there's a balance, obviously, you have to dance with. Of like, you want to pump up your guys, and you want the locker room, and you want everyone to believe and buy in.
I think they truly believed last year they could be really good.
Yeah. I gotta say, I was never sold on that team, just because of Cade's history from the prior years. And it was like, the things that I saw weren't skill, it was more mindset. Like, IQ plays that just messed up. When you're playing Duke and you slide before the penalty marker, and that's the game. And you don't try to extend the play there. Tennessee, you're in a rough place to play. You're getting down on the goal line, and you get sacked in the field. Time runs out. You don't get a field goal.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of questionable throws that he's made where it's either trying to squeeze into a window or I don't know if it's the same page or what it is, but there's a lot of things that are outside of talent, which made me worry about him more than it's like, okay, he doesn't need to develop on like really, I think skill-wise, he's phenomenal. Can sling it wherever you want to. You'll see some throws. I think when he subbed in against Carolina the first time, he threw a bomb that just dropped into the back of the end zone where only whatever the receiver was.
The North Carolina, it was at the ACC Championship. That.
Yeah, and it's like, okay.
Drops it in there was one sprint out he had to Davis Allen, and he just drops it in the bucket, corner pylon. Like, that is such a layered throw.
Yep. And
then it'll be 3rd and 6, and you slide before the sticks, and you're just the situational awareness.
It's like, what do you know? That's what always made me iffy on him, of just the truly great ones, you don't see that once you go into that sophomore, junior season. I think the freshman, everyone gives, your first year there, whatever it is, you give them, there's some slack there of like, okay, they're figuring it out.
Yeah,
you're playing in front of 100,000 people.
Some grace.
First time when you have, packed stadium and they're yelling at you, that's a different breed. 100%, I only played in high school. Played in front of like 1,000 people, maybe. And it's like...
Go from like 1,000 to 100,000.
It's nerve-wracking. Completely there with you, 100%, But now you're going in second, third time there. It's like, all right, you get the, you understand what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's tough too with the prediction season, and it's like it's gonna be tough for me because I know there's a large majority of people that they're gonna think Clemson's gonna get clobbered. Yeah. I don't think that'll be the case. I don't think LSU, because they're on the other end. I know Lane comes in with this explosive offense. They're fielding an entirely different team than last year. And of course, you have some holdovers like Whit Weeks, and you have Blake Baker as the defensive coordinator. But there's some chaos with Lane Kiffin that comes with that I think you can maybe, if you're playing them in November,
you have a chance.
It's like, okay, it don't feel as good if you were playing them in November and they're a little more cohesive. They know what their identity is. September 5th, I doubt they're going to have an idea of that so quickly, unless fall camp for them goes really well.
Yeah.
But it's going to be one of the more, I'm really excited to go cover a game in Baton Rouge. I've never been.
Yeah.
So that alone is exciting.
It's pumped up.
Oh, yeah.
It's it will be extremely interesting, and that first week is always your fighting chance for a team that's not.
That's the most you'll believe.
That's the most you'll believe, and probably the most other team might be disorganized and chaotic. So you could hit a perfect storm of where Clemson goes down there and takes a game that we might find out they had no business winning or not.
Yeah, that could be the case. Well, I mean, Florida State had no business beating Alabama last year, and
look what they did.
Of course, that was at home for them, but that Florida State team with 4 games this year, they're a total mess.
They were a complete mess after that game.
Yeah.
Yep. That was one of the most dramatic fall-offs I think ever recorded.
And you thought, oh my gosh, not Mike Norvell after 2 games last year, they figured it out, and they did not.
They did not. They the quarterback that they had was so interesting though, because when he was it Maryland before that?
Castellanos?
Yeah.
Was it BC?
Boston College, even better. You saw him out there with basically no one. Yeah, he was like, all right, he's pretty good. And so when they won against Alabama, you're like, wow, this guy could be a Heisman. But doesn't pan. That's what's always interesting about week 1.
It just doesn't pan out sometimes like we think.
Yeah. Getting back to your writing, I'm curious about this. How much does like AI come into getting his articles out and stuff like that?
So I mean, we don't use AI for to build the story. There are people that do, and you can tell.
Yeah.
I would say I use Grammarly, but that's more of just a suggestion to tighten up a comma here or there and make things a little bit more refined. And I would prefer if people think I was a grammatically correct
person.
Yeah. But you see it with graphics now more than ever, where it is not AI slop, to use the movie term, but you can definitely tell that's where it's going.
Yeah,
it's easier too. I think the one tool that AI comes very handy in is quotes. Is I can go, let's say if I'm interviewing you and I want to use my phone, I'll slide this over, it'll record it, and then I can send it over to a system that'll transcribe it all for me, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
It'll make a mistake here or there, so you have to kind of be ready for it. That's usually with names, where if there's I would say with Tate Reynolds this year, the freshman, where his is TAIT, or they'll do TATE.
Yeah.
So you just have to fix that. That's no big deal. But sometimes with Sweeney, he'll have a monologue that you're trying to decipher, so it makes it easy to have it all structured out.
Sure.
That's a time saver right there, but that's become a crutch almost too, where it's like, man, what would I do without it?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I would be covering high school games even in college, and I'm going to type the quotes out word for word, and that's very tedious.
Right.
But now I don't want to think about it twice.
I bet it's actually, I would imagine, probably better if you were than try to do it by hand.
Yeah.
I mean, if not the same.
You could shorthand it, but it's complicated.
Yeah, I imagine it's just a lot easier to put it in there and be like, oh, that's just misspelled. Let me fix that. Or you go back to the recording at whatever timestamp and listen to it yourself. Be like, oh, that's actually this. That is interesting. It's an interesting way to kind of use it. How it's used differently throughout every kind of career.
I have AI YouTube videos now where they'll go through a bunch of different stuff, and you're like, how do they put all that together?
It's a fascinating tool that's coming about. it's taking over the world, obviously.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, the AI journalism is the problem though, because you'll just get some of those articles that are like, "This is terrible," and it's
it's just
you can tell pretty quickly though is the like main thing.
There's no voice behind it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I think that you can tell when it's generated by a computer. I think I'd seen this. It was a local high school reporter. It sort of called out. I don't know what it. I don't. It's not in South Carolina, so I'm not worried if I don't remember the name or not.
Yeah.
But I think it was in Texas where they were doing a quick game story for a football.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a rivalry Friday game, and a lot of people wanted to see what happened.
Yeah.
And the AI story was very. This team beat this team, blah, 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 and it was very to the point. There was no voice behind it, like, this is terrible. Like, even if we wanted to give you a direct, this is what happened type of story, there's a little bit more of a flow to it. Like, you can tell when someone, like, I think that if you gave me 2 sheets of paper and I didn't have an author, but I had, like, a title, and I had what they wrote, and let's say one is David Hood's and one's Larry Williams, I can tell which is which because they each have their own style. But then when you throw AI in there, it's just, I can tell that too because there's a lack of a soul in it. Yeah.
I'd say that's the main problem is when you read it, it's just kind of like, meh.
Yeah. I'm not blown away by it. I'm not invested in coming back for it either.
No, it doesn't draw you in as much. I mean, for breaking down things, it's very useful. In journalism, I think it's very hard to make like the creative.
Yeah,
I think that's a hard thing to replicate into like an algorithm.
I appreciate being able to look up AI, being like, "Hey, how many calories is in this?"
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. How many steps is in like?
Yeah,
did I take from going from the store to here?
Sure, or like Google will give you like this is what Reddit said, or this is what
that's also nice.
This site said about. And you're just trying to get like a distinct opinion, or I'm one where I'm watching movies and I have questions, so I'll put it in the like, why did this happen? And then there'll be like a Reddit post where like the person that knows more than I do will explain it for me. And I'm like,
that's nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand what's going on now.
Yeah.
Or when you just have a quick question about like something random, and it's like,
sure,
well, I have an endless box to ask on anything. I sparked my curiosity.
It's weird because isn't like Siri sort of the first? It wasn't AI, but it kind of was maybe the birthing of it, where that was maybe the original idea.
Yeah.
Or concept of.
I guess to the public, that would be like the largest place. I imagine behind doors they
probably weren't
tampering
using AI as what it is now. It's so different.
I don't know what Siri would be actually like classified as, but I would imagine Siri it more recommends. It's like, here's the first link to.
But it like recognizes when I ask about dinner, it knows what that is, and like, okay, here's dinner spots. Like, there's an information.
I'd be curious on if Siri does count as. I know now it does because Apple added in the AI intelligence.
Yeah,
but I don't know if like Siri 1 was.
No, that one was very basic.
That was very simple. I don't know how much that's just like computer or like recognition of like words, not so much like it wasn't thinking it out for you. It was like when the phone asks for dinner, like they've got like maybe a coding. Okay, if they have the location on, then these are the whatever's nearby. Yeah, I kind of think that's more of it. I would imagine it has to be much simpler.
It feels so archaic now, though.
Oh yeah, it feels
like ancient. It's like, are you Siri? Like, what are you doing?
Why are you doing that? That's yeah, that's like now if you showed up with like an iPhone 4, it'd be.
Yeah, I feel like I have a home button there.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Whoa.
What happened?
Yeah.
What's going wrong?
You don't have more than 2 cameras on your phone? Like,
yeah. I can't believe this. Yeah, it has been crazy to see every technology taking off in the past. Especially since like our from your childhood to now, it's like
our form of entertainment was like Pokemon on the DS or something, and now it's like I got an iPad at 3. It's like, come on.
You know how many games I could play right now? It's infinite.
Yeah.
There's an infinite amount of games that I could download and play now.
I'll tell you, we were in Disney a few weeks ago for vacation, and the amount of like 6 to like 9 like children.
Yeah.
That like I remember my first trip at Disney was 7. I didn't have a tablet. I was just taking it all in.
Yeah.
Now these kids are just
they're
sunken in their fun. Like, my gosh. Like a 6-year-old with the capability of infinite resources on. That blows my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine. That's why, I don't know. I think whenever we have kids, I think they're going to get a DS because...
It's like, at least I know what's on there.
Yeah, like, I know what's on there. Nothing else, like, you can't... There's only so much you can do until you're bored with it.
Right.
Like, eventually you will get bored with it.
It's like, can we, like, play outside?
Anything.
Can we do that?
Play
outside, I could just put on a virtual reality headset.
Yeah,
and do that.
I'll go play, like, Animal Crossing or something. And it's like, okay.
That's, like, outdoors in the virtual world.
All right. Not the same. Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse, I guess.
Yeah.
Of problems. But that's like, I remember having, like, you had VHS tapes of like.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a whole, back in our old house back home, there's like discs for movies where you could, remember we had like a smaller TV and we had specific movies like Star Wars and.
Yeah, that's.
You just plug that sucker in and like play the button on the TV, like. Or road trips, we'd have like the movie car player, and you'd have a little folder of movies that you could pick from.
There's something to it that was just nice. It was
It's old fashioned.
Yeah, I guess it is now. But to me, it just is helpful with so much. Like, I feel like otherwise you just get so ADD of like if you're just on Netflix, there's an endless amount of things that you can press on and do whatever.
There's something always like enticing. Oh, I haven't seen that before.
It's like these are my 10 options.
Right.
And I've watched 9 of them.
It's like, okay.
So.
Or you can like plan. I got a 6-hour car trip. We got 6 movies. Like, split it back and forth. One way we're doing 3. Way back we're gonna be watching these 3.
Yeah.
Very simple.
It's very easy. I don't know. It's simple. It's easy. I don't know. You don't have to wrap your brain around it.
It's like, all right, we're gonna be stopping in 2 hours. Do you want to watch Shrek first, or do you want to watch School of Rock? And those 2.
I think the other part is, with the car player, once you got out of the car, you couldn't take it with you.
No, you had to.
So you just had to be in the moment.
Right. Like, you're like on a big plot point, you're like, oh my god, I cannot wait to get back in the car and see what happens. Let's hurry this stop up.
Let's get going, people. I don't know what happens at the end of Scooby-Doo. I can't.
No, it's like, well, if I don't see what happens, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I'm just gonna carry it with me and just walk in. Okay, yeah. It's not the same. I don't know. I think that helps. I don't know. I think there's something special to it. And I'm sure every kid now will have their own special talent from.
Sure. I mean, there'll be a point where the stuff now will be ancient.
Yeah, that's the scary thing of what is it becoming like.
It's like, when is my computer? It's fun to, in the sports media side of it, when the people that are like my parents' age on the beat, they're like, yeah, I remember having to call in my stories and dictate to somebody at the station or at the office. But all right, these are the stats, these are the scores.
Yeah. You
ready for me to talk?
Yeah. Or
having to get to a location that has internet. Like, now you can get it anywhere.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's so much. I think one of the more technological crutches that we have is we have this website called Stat Broadcast that, like, will basically track everything for you.
Yeah.
And they have that at all the Clemson games, all the college games. But when you go cover, like, high school, for example, you have to write everything down still. Since there's not, like, unless you have, like, a statistician there that's taking care of it for you. But that's pretty rare up here.
Just the math teacher.
Right. And sometimes they're not there.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, did he throw for 6 yards? Did he throw for 10? I don't know.
6 plus 10?
It's like, oh, dang it. Hold on. Let me break out the calculator on my phone.
Old reliable. Gotta check those numbers.
That's right.
Make sure that's right. Oh, yeah, that's pretty funny. They have to go in there and just.
Oh yeah.
It's like flashback to the past. I can imagine like the early days where it would be like you probably had to leave sports journalism back then to like run to the phone like to get the call out to be like.
This is what just happened. Can you believe it? Can you imagine the transfer portal?
It seems like a black and white movie almost in my head of them doing this, of running out of the stadium and like to the phone booth and like.
And they're gonna go home on a horse and buggy. And they're gonna do all that.
Yeah, by candlelight.
Yeah,
looking for it.
It's the Paul Revere thing, but you're trying to break the news that someone transferred to Clemson. The British are coming. Elliot Washington's transferred to Clemson.
Yeah, just trotting down the path. Yeah, that's pretty much how I envision it. It's pretty good.
If Paul Revere could tweet.
Man, He would have been out of a story. He would have been out of the history books.
Per sources, and then you got a bunch of people commenting like, "Nah, fake news. No, they're not."
It's actually just Sean.
AI
just tweeting. It was not Paul Revere. It was Shefty just back there.
It was. You just got centelled.
Yeah. That's great. So, what's your end goal with keeping on doing all of this? Of going on, like, you just want to run your own podcast one day that you're like, that's your full-time kind of thing? Do you want to be always bouncing around?
I think right now, I don't know. It was...
That's fair.
I think when I was in school and I had the broadcast thing, I was like, all right, one day it's going to be Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler, something like that, where I'm broadcasting. And I think that's changed. But right now, if I had to say, if I got this job, I would be content for the rest of my life type of thing. Maybe it's my own full-time show on the radio, like just being on air full-time. Like, or if it's podcast made enough money where like you're a Zach Lowe or you're a Bill Simmons type, where that's what you do. Yeah, that'd be really cool for me at a national level, being able to talk whatever I want to talk about. Yeah. And I think at some point I want to break away from Clemson. Not to say that I haven't ever had a bad time here. It's just that I want to get out of this bubble.
Cover more things.
Do more things, challenge myself. I would love to cover the NFL. Yeah. And do what I do now, but like, let's say the Patriots beat or the Packers or the Tampa Bay. I'd love to live in Tampa Bay. We went there for the tournament. Nice. I was like, I love this place. Yeah. So much. So I don't have like a set angle right now. I think I love what I do right now. It works for me. And if other factors come in at some point, then we'll worry about that when we do.
Yeah. Just see what, keep doors open as always and keep moving. I'm curious with the podcast, when you're coming up with topics, are you more like, do you float them, like kind of, like is it more of like a pitch session with anybody, or is it kind of like just bringing on people? Or
I think it depends. It's more just, hey, we want to talk about, like we'll reach out to people during the season as an example. It's like, hey, we want to bring on the North Carolina writer to talk about Bill Belichick in the preview for the game this weekend. Can you give us 30 minutes to talk about it? And we try not to be as question-oriented. We're like, okay, we're going to follow this verbatim. Right. Because then it just feels more robotic. Trying to be more conversational, like kind of what we're doing here, but more kind of focused on, we both know what we're
talking about.
Yeah, like we won't go off AI or anything like that.
You're not going to diverge into all these fun rabbit holes. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it could. We could. But usually, like, I'll have a set amount of topics, but I don't try to order them. It's like, okay, we want to cover this. However we get there is fine. Yeah. Just as long as we can do it in a half hour. So we can, just retention's so big with our, we want people to be able to, like if it's 3.5 hours of Clemson, North Carolina, even the biggest sports person's going to get checked. They're not going to watch the whole thing. Yeah. So.
Having that, like, short attention, kind of quick attention span of, 25, 30 minutes. It's like one car ride, basically. And you're
right, like they're going to work and stuff, and they're listening to the show. It's good.
Yeah, that's probably a very good time to aim for, because I mean, most people's commute is probably around that 20, 30 minutes. So
if we can get them on like a Monday morning, they're like, okay, North Carolina's playing this week. Oh shoot, we got a Tuesday morning. Okay, that's something to look forward to. Yeah, and then they can listen to it at work or lunch break, and then they come back, and it's pretty nice. It's been weird though. I remember getting my first check to do podcasts. I was like, I didn't make a cent for years, and now it's a job.
Yeah, so I can't really complain with that. That's the great part. If they did come to you and were like, you can run your own show, you can do whatever you want to. Yeah. What would be your style that like you would set up? What kind of do you want to make it as?
I think it'd probably be like Bill Simmons or like Cowherd's podcast, where it's sports. I probably do NFL is the main deal. Yeah. Dip into college football when it's relevant, and then the NBA when it's timely. Yeah. Hour once. I would probably do 3 days a week of an hour. Bring like some guests and have it be more conversational like this. I'd love to be able to one day have a part of my home where I could make this kind of a mini studio. Yeah. But we're a few years away from that right now.
No, it's I don't know. You got a pretty good spot in it. I mean, you're in it, for the long run.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's gone very well so far. So
It has, I would say.
knock on wood, it continues.
Let's hope.
And hopefully everything, and hopefully podcasting is still something that is around, and we're not replaced by some other form of media.
I would love to see what AI Grayson looks like. That'd be a trip.
It's always interesting putting a photo into AI and saying make something.
It's like I wish I didn't ask for that.
Yeah, that was kind of rude of the. You gotta get on there and be like, chat, that was foul. I'm gonna go subscribe to Claude now. It's over with. Yeah, it's gonna be curious. I am gonna be curious on how media evolves and keeps going. If YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook are always going to be the main kind of sources, or eventually move on to like different platforms or something. I don't know.
I think there will always be a new social media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the concept of it, like the main idea of it, will ever die.
Yeah. Unless
we all of a sudden aren't short attention span hungry. Like the 60-second reel thing is kind of what our culture is now.
Yeah.
And so we've seen that dominate the sports media space more, where a lot of personalities, like, you can make a 60-second clip a day that bangs, and you'll get 1,000 views, tens of thousands of views a day, and you can make a living off of it.
Mm-hmm. That's the crazy part of how many people now, how much is opened up to the world.
Yeah. Anybody can get in the space.
Yeah. I think that's the cool part about all of it, is the fact that anyone with a camera and an idea can talk about it.
I gotta shout out this kid on TikTok. It was 2020. He was 14, and he maybe had a few thousand followers, and he'd like break down film. And now I think he's in his 20s in his college, and he's got hundreds of thousands of followers. And it's been kind of cool to see his progression over time. And if you're dedicated to it, I think it's a business that rewards the hungriest.
Yeah.
And if you don't want it, you're going to get left to the side.
Right.
And it's a lot of pressure, but it's fun.
Yeah. I think it's fun to be able to, well, that's not obvious in sports, but I like doing this.
It is fun.
It's fun to, it's fun to just sit here and talk about stuff.
Time will fly, that's for sure.
Yeah. Were you a big YouTube person growing up?
I was.
Yeah. See, I remember watching YouTubers like when I was in my teen, like growing up.
That's when it like felt like it really took off. Was 2013. Like everyone was watching PewDiePie. Everybody was watching, like, what was it? Smosh was it called?
I think it was Smosh. Personally, I watched Jev.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you ever
like FaZe.
Yeah, FaZe Jev. Yeah.
I was a big T Martin. That Call of Duty space.
T Martin was a nice one as well.
I was a big Call of Duty Zombies guy back in high school.
Oh, I love zombies.
So that was sort of my space for a while. That was kind of like my niche. I was like, okay, I'm in this territory.
You throw up a game of Town or Origins, and it's a wrap.
In my senior year of high school, we had like this thing called the senior lounge. Since we were a smaller school, we get up like a little room for if you had like a period off, you'd have to go home. You could just stay in there. So I brought my Xbox in.
Yeah.
And I had Black Ops 2 Zombies, and so it'd be fun to kind of play in front of everybody. Like, look at these tricks that I'm doing with how I'm manipulating the zombie hordes and stuff like that, just because I'm such a nerd. But
that's the fun part, though.
Like split screening Town with like art for my friends in there, and they're like, "Man, you're pretty good at this." And I would say so.
Probably get the one guy that's down 30 times.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right.
You're just no help. I'm not coming to get you.
Yeah, I'm not getting you this time. I don't care that you have ray gun. Doesn't matter.
Or you'll be on like a public Easter egg hunt, and you hear the Mr. Ruffle Waffles Easter egg guide in the background of, this is how you get this step done. It's like, can you train the last zombie for me?
Yeah. I love those are classic times. What you're trying to do with your friends at home, and you just can't. You just can't. You're buns.
Just can't figure it out. Man, we suck.
We're the problem. Yeah, that's Call of Duty time of probably history until they released it again to make more money. But for then there was a large gap.
Like 2012 to 2016 was kind of like my peak with it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah,
it was great games though. I mean, you had amazing games. Black Ops 2 obviously that was the first one that I played.
So mine was Advanced Warfare. I was a late bloomer to Call of Duty.
That's a tough one to start on.
Yeah.
Or better, maybe. I don't know. So
It was a little bit of a whiplash to go back and play the other ones, just because you're like, why am I not flying in a jetpack? This isn't how I remember playing it. So it was a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a trying to go and play Advanced Warfare after that was rough. So I was like, I just learned how to play with no jetpack. And
Yeah,
now I have
they're
a
all
jetpack.
flying around.
I was like, what the heck? It's like, change the game. Skill gap there for sure was very wide.
Oh yeah, if you knew how to like fly on different rooftops and stuff, and it was nuts.
No, I can't even play anymore. I will not buy another Call of Duty game. I still only play the ones I have. I think Cold War is the last game I played. And
yeah.
That will probably be the last one I play, because if I fired up multiplayer now, I'd just get crushed.
Oh my god, it's the "You Light My Fire" song to like Celtic Shack.
Yeah, it's not a fun space to be in.
No.
When you're bad,
that is when that like the onk term
it comes
really
out.
applies.
And they let you know if you got game chat on. You get told very viciously.
You wouldn't have survived in a Modern Warfare 2 chat, man. You would not have.
You're not understood. You don't understand. It's that's probably where cyberbullying started. If I had to narrow it down to one place.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That was probably one of them.
Right there, 2010, 2011, that stretch there with the open lobbies.
Yeah. That's the place to be alive. Yeah, but video games, always a unifier.
Unifier, divider, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and everyone played it differently somehow. Amazingly. Everyone was either like a multiplayer guy or a zombies person, or I always liked the campaign personally, but zombies was also the go-to. I remember playing so many trying to do the Easter egg. So many nights spent up until wee hours of the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Just with that and like Fortnite taking off, it was like the...
Yeah, Fortnite was rough. I could not play.
Oh, the building and...
See, when I saw someone... It was the classic like video of you shoot at someone and then just build a tower.
Oh, yeah. There's...
Yeah, that basically happened. I was like, okay. Yep.
This isn't for me.
This is not for me. I clearly see the problem. But, yeah. I appreciate you doing this.
Absolutely.
It's been a blast. Hope you've enjoyed it.
I have, man.
It's fun.
We've covered everything.
Yeah. Talk about everything. Talk about anything at all. That's the beauty of doing this.
I'll have to come back, man. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a season to...
Dude, we can do a season of do some type of sports talk or anything like that. Anything
football comes back, we'll have to talk about that LSU game.
Yeah, we can do an episode after that or something.
Yeah.
If you want to. I'll be down.
We'll make it happen.
I'm always glad to have you. Appreciate it, sir.